Hello everyone, so are we ready for today's natural tutorial? We are going to start off with the Makeup Revolution Baking Oil. I love this product for whenever I want to use powder, and I usually only set my T-zone. So this keeps it from getting cakey and kind of heavy looking. So this is always a must for me. Next, we're going to go in with Urban Decay All Nighter Concealer in the shade Fair Neutral. I really hella load up my highlighting areas with this, so under the eye, the chin, the forehead, down the center of the nose. This product does dry pretty quick and it is pretty matte, so this baking oil really helps mix with the concealer and keep it from drying down too quick. And then we are going to go in with a flat foundation, just a standard brush that almost nobody likes to use, which I love for prepping the skin. Sorry if you can hear my dog sneezing in the background. Allergies are a bitch for her, I guess. So we are just going to continue to pat and blend and kind of pull at the edges so that way there's no harshness or harsh lines. And it's just a lot of tedious back and forth. Just a lot of pat, 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 blend, 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 blend. You guys kind of get the idea, right? Just pat and blend, pat and blend. Taking the KKW contour in medium, we're going to take medium contour 2 on the forehead. I like to use the darkest side just because I would like how warm it pulls, because I like to be super bronzy as fuck. And I like a really sun-kissed look, especially on my forehead because I got a big old noggin, y'all. And we're going to continue to blend with the synthetic Morphe brush. And we're going to take the lighter shade, which is medium 1 contour. And we are just going to slightly carve out. It's still warm for my skin tone, but I'm going for more bronzy than I am like super cut and like cool toned and like carved, you know? We're going for more of a bronze effect. And same thing, just pat and blend, not a lot of swirling. And then we're going to take the light contour, and we're going to take light 1, and we're going to run it down the nose, and then the tip of the nose, and then around the lip. And after I do the lip with the light 1, I'm going to go back in with the light 2, just for a little bit more drama and a little bit more depth. I really like my lips to stand out, you know? I want to look super pouty and Kim K. And then just for a little bit more of a contoured effect, I like the Mink Anastasia, which is what I'm using right now, the stick foundation, but it's in the shade Mink. It's super gray, super cool toned, and this is perfect for adding a little bit more depth to the contour because these areas I do want more coolness. I don't want it to be super orange on my nose or around my mouth. It looks a little too artificial, I guess, but the shade is really great for these areas. And I'm using a MAC 217 to blend out and apply these products. And then we are going to take the Lancome SPF 50. The skin feels good and light nude. Love Your Selfie and LN2 and some Armani Luminous Silk. And we're just going to mix these all together because your boy's a mixologist, you know? And I'm taking the IT Cosmetics Airbrush Foundation brush. I love this brush so much. It's so fluffy, so dense. Really pushes the product in and it kind of melts everything together. I mix all these together because they're all different consistencies and give me a finish that I really like. Of course, you don't have to do this, but I'm super extra and this is what I love. So as you can see, it softens up all the contours and the bronzer. Taking Shape Tape in shade Light and then shade Fair. I'm going to place Fair just on top of my cheekbones so that way it gives us an extra highlighted look on top of the cheekbones. And then I'm taking a sponge to push all the concealer in and make everything really smooth and airbrushed, you know. So that way we don't look like a cakey hot mess, even though it's a lot of makeup. And then taking the highlighter stick from KKW. And we're using the light matte shade. And we're going to place this where we highlight normally, except for under the eye. I'm just going to place it on top of the cheekbones where I place that Shape Tape there. And then we're going to blend out with the sponge. I really like this stick. It really does add a nice highlighted look. But just bouncing and blending with the sponge. I'm really pressing. I'm not pulling or swiping. But I wanted a little bit more highlight. So I took shade Fair again, added just a little bit more. And we're blending that out directly with the sponge instead of the brush. Just that way really softens the product up. And then we're taking Mink again with the MAC 217, and we're just going to go back in and add those contours back to the nose into the lip area just to give it a little bit more depth and exaggeration. I really like these certain areas to stand out and appear more contoured and a little bit more snatched than the rest of my face. And then we're taking a medium 2 contour again from KKW on a brush directly. And we're going to start to add warmth back into the skin so that way I don't have to use so much bronzer, even though I'm still going to use a shit ton of bronzer. And this is just going to lightly add color back to the skin since we did kind of cover it up with all the foundation. And kind of same thing, I'm going to mix I'm mixing Mink and the medium 2 together. And I'm just going to slightly add it back to the cheekbones. But for the forehead, we just used medium 2. But you can see it's just adding a nice little sculpt look to the skin. Oh. And then we're just going to go over the whole face with our sponge and just make sure everything's pushed in, all excess product is taken off. And then we are taking the Anastasia loose setting powder in translucent, and we're going to set everywhere we put concealer, so under the eye, the chin, the forehead, you know, I'll get the gist of it. Just where we put concealer so that way none of it moves and creases throughout the day. And we're going to take the KKW lip liner in shade 2. And we're just going to do our lips real quick because I was really excited for the lip. I don't know why. But we're going to outline the lips and overline, of course. We're going to take our sweet ass time because we really like big, juicy, plump, symmetrical lips. And then after I get my lips outlined, I am going to take a MAC 239 and just kind of blend out the lip liner so that way there's no harsh lines or edges. And then we're taking the Lorac lipstick in Beach Babe, and we're just going to fill in and merge those two products together to create a perfectly balanced porn star nude lip. And then we are actually going to take the MAC lip gloss in see-through, my old fave, and slather these bitches up in gloss because I love a glossy lip. This is just not say DSLs. Tell me it doesn't. And then we're going to take the NARS Laguna bronzer, and we're going to start to build up definition with this bronzer. I'm more so using this to set the bronzer, or my cream contour, before I go in with a darker shade, so that way the darker shade doesn't grab and get weird and muddy. And then we're going to start to contour. We're going to use the MAC Light Medium Contour Kit, and we're going to use this to contour the nose, as well as the lip area, just to set those creams and add a little bit more depth. We want to exaggerate. So this is on video, okay? We need to look snatched as possible. And then I like to go in after I powder contour everything with my sponge, with whatever excess product is on it, and kind of soften it up. Taking the Morphe Bronzer, we're going to take the shade Celebutante, I believe. And we're going to use the matte side on our cheeks, and then we're going to mix the two, the matte and the shimmery, on our forehead. And then taking the Tarte Blush in Party, we're just going to really blush up this face. I love blush, if you guys could not tell from any of my other videos. But blush is one of my favorite products besides brows and bronzer. Taking Brow Blade from Urban Decay and dark shapes and just using the ink set. We got our brows on, and then taking the Anastasia, what is this? The eye primer. And we're gonna prime, and then taking the Modern Renaissance palette. I did set the primer so that way the shadows didn't stick too bad and they weren't too bold. I want it to be a little bit natural. And we're just going back and forth with these Morphe brushes. I'm using a big one for the, what's it called? The transition shade, and then working smaller and smaller as I get darker. But I'm always gonna go back in with that transition brush, just with whatever excess product is on it to kind of soften everything out. And I am kind of winging the product out so that way you can see I like a really winged out shape. I'm just always going back into my transition shade, taking my concealer brush and really cutting or cleaning up the outer corner. And then taking Tarte Chrome Paint Pot and Top Yacht. This shade is so pretty. Look how beautiful that is. Ugh. So good. I did wet my brush before applying this, just that way everyone knows. Taking the Urban Decay Midnight Blast Moondust Single Shadow, placing this on top just to darken it a little bit and give it more of a bronzy effect than like a stark, like light gold color. And we're just gonna layer these babies up. Mixing Cypress Umber and Warm Taupe, and we're gonna use that under the eye and blend it out. And then I'm taking Groundbreaker from MAC. I don't believe they make this anymore. They might, but it's just a nice shimmery, like brown color that isn't too harsh. And we're just highlighting using the gold light shade. And then we're gonna highlight using Anastasia, but we're gonna wet our brush. And we're just gonna take this lighter shade in the palette. Ooh, y'all see that? Ooh, she cute or whatever. Ooh. Taking a smaller brush just to highlight our nose. We're gonna place it in like the top of the bridge and then the very tip of the nose, and then press it all in with our sponge to make sure everything's not too harsh or textured, and then set, and we have lashes on, and we are done, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Yeah, look how pretty this is. This is it for your natural face. Hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time, bye.